Hi everyone, welcome back to NetGen Infra Academy. Today we are going to discuss about that user management in the Linux server. Basically, we are going to discuss about that how to create that new user and how to delete that user and how to give the privilege for that particular user and how to add that user into that group. These are all the things we are going to discuss on that. Let's move on to the document and we'll go to review that what are the things we are going to review that today video, and we'll go to see that what are the command is going to involve in, and also it will go to see that what is the syntax for that command. Let's go to the document. The first thing is we are going to discuss about that how to create the users and how to create that users in the basic manner, how we are going to manage the group and delete that. So this all the topic we are going to cover on the today videos. Okay. First is how to create that new user. We have the two type of command, which is the user add command and add user command. We have that user add command is the low level command, and what are the feature is providing, and why we have that add user command instead of we already have that user add command. This difference and everything we are going to discuss in the deeply into that our practical session. Just you can just here is we are going to go through that what are the command is there. That's it from here. Okay. Then next we'll go to view on that how we are going to manage one user into the particular group. For example, we have the different group and department wise we have the group like dev team and dev DevOps team, like QA team, and all we have a different set in case one user is coming. How to we go to place that user into the particular group, and the command is below. We have that user mode, and with hyphen a and g, it is called the options and the syntax. So this all are we have that we will go to see that one by one in our coming practical session. Move on to that next command. We are going to see that for the delete user, in case we want to remove that user into that in the Linux server, we are going to use that userdel command, which is that it will go to remove that particular users. And very important thing is on that next topic for the useful file. That means Linux is basically work. Basically, it will work on that configuration file oriented only. So today we are going to discuss about that user management. For the user management also, we have the particular configuration file. That configuration file will make sure about that all the users oriented management, and all the configs we can use it from there. The first thing is the main configuration file is for user management is for the password file. If you see that all the our configuration file, not only for the user management, if you are going to network or if you are going to the file system systems, or any if any samba oriented, if for any configuration, if you take that, the all the configuration files will be stored under that /etc. So the basically, if you see the /etc is that folder system, or the it is the volume kind of things, file system mounting. How it is we have that in our Windows system, we have that C drive, right, which is the content for the all the Windows configuration and everything. So similar, and here it is for the etc. And the password file will contain for that user's information, which is the cell is there, and what is his username, and which is that his user home directory. The all the details will contain in the password file. If you are not aware or password you are getting confused, or if I'm moving on in faster way, don't worry about that. This is the only for the overview of that command which is we are going to use that. But in the practical session we are going to discuss about entirely one by one. So how it is there, which column is how it will, the file will contain syntax and everything we will go to discuss in that deep manner and there. And move on to the next file for the shadow, which is that contain that particular users, which are the user we are creating. That user password will go to store in that shadow file with the encrypted mode. So that means no one can easily come and view that others password for security point of view. And next is for the group file. So the group file is will contain that what are the availability group is there in that our Linux server and all. Okay. The next is for the login.test files. That is the default user account settings. What are the settings we have that it all will contain here. And slash home is how previously I told you, right? Slash etc is contained for the all the configuration file. The similar slash home folder or file system will contain for the entire user's home directory for that. This is the default home directory path for that every local users. Okay. And one more thing, in the Linux we have the two type of user. One is for the local user and other one is for the AD level users. So the AD level user is for the advanced level. We have the active directory will contain all the user, and it will go to provide that all the which server which user want to access and everything. They will go to manage it from the AD level. So but here is for the, so as per the beginner, you can understand that how user management, how user behavior it is happening from the Linux. Then it will be very easy for that in AD level, advanced level. That's it from the document review. Let's move on to the our real practical session, and we'll go to discussing everything there. Thank you. Yeah, this is our test server. We are going to play around what are the documents we are discussing about that. We'll go to execute and here, and we will discuss about that how that command is behaving and that. Okay. The first command we are going to use for that our user add command and add user command. Both we are going to test it here. So we'll go to make it sure that what are the differences there, why we need that we have the two command and which is the feature is providing for the each command on that. Okay. So first we'll go to see that. First is for we are going to discuss about that user add command, which is how to create for that and what are the things we need to provide for here. Okay, if you, for example, if I need to give that user add command and follow that, I can give that some random user. So this will command will go to create that user Raj, and very simple, right? So I'm going to hit it. So it is going to create that Raj folder. How can, because there is no any error, so I'm assuming that this user is already created at that. But how to we'll go to confirm that it is really it is that user is created, or where we can go to cross confirm, cross verify for that. That find of view only we can, it will come for that cat and etc. If you see that in the document, we will see that password file, right? This password file will contain that all the information. And before that, I forgot to inform that we have that if there any new users watching our video for the Linux point of view, you can see that cat is that original command from the Linux native command. We can use it and we can go to see that what are the file content and everything on here. Okay. So this is the content is there, and if you can see that last one, which is we created users, that will be present here. So that means our users is created, Raj and users and all it is already created, which is that user is creating. So the one thing is here, I will create the another user with that another command. Then we can understand. We'll discuss about that. What are the differences there? Okay. Then I am going to run that add user command with that Raj1, and I'm hitting the enter. See, if you see that before, when I was run that user add command with the username, it is not exposing and it is not asking that anything on that. But while running on that, it will give the few information, and also it is promote us to give the password for that particular users. For example, we'll go for one by one. So it is telling about that after running that add user command, it will telling about that adding the user is Raju1. It is giving that extra awareness to us what is going to happen after this command is completed. Okay. Then it is telling about that it is going to create the new user called for the Raju1, which is the username we are giving that the similar group name will created in that Linux behavior. Okay. Then it is telling about that new user is with the what are the group ID and user ID is there, and it will telling about that home directory is there. So it is showing that slash home and Raj1 is already exit and not copy from that. This is the script oriented, so it is showing that it's not happening, but the folder is already exit. Basically, what is we can understand that this add user is trying to create that folder, home folder for particular user is under the home directory. Okay, then it is asking for the password for that Raj1 user. It will go to give that test at the rate 123 test at the rate 123. So after we are giving the password, it's saying the successfully password is applicable, applied, and it is asking for the few information like the what is the full name. So for example, if you are creating that big organization with that, we need to give a full first name and last name, and we will go to identify that which user is logging and what they are doing and everything. We can track that. So that basic information is asking one by one. I'm giving that empty null value because of this is the very test server. So I don't want to make that all complicated information here. So once if I will give that all the necessary information, it will show for that is that all the above information all are correct. So I will give that yes or no questions based on that. So it is great. Now I'm going to see that what is happening with that password file. Yeah. See, for example, if you see that when creating the user command, and it will give for that what are the cell is there, and after we creating that also which are the cell is there. Basically here it is we can see that only password file point of view only for the bash command cell only have the difference, correct? And I will forward to explain that what is the syntax for contain password file. I will go to explain here. First column it will go to make sure that which is the username, and the second column will show for that what is that user have the password, and because the password is only for the X here, it will go to refer with that other file called shadow file, which is the we discussed about that in our document review, right? From there we have the password and call content, but here it is that just is showing for the reference is the X, and it will show for the what is the username ID and what is the password ID and what is that that particular user um, home directory, and it will telling about the what cell that user have that, right? So the same information, this kind of information we can collect it from the password file. So here the other differences with that two user command, if you see that in the home folder, I will go to just so I created the two folder. One is for Raju and one is for other one is for the Raju one. If I check that Raju one folder which is created the add user command, it will show for that folder is created exit, and it is showing that nothing is there inside of that. If you want to see that really that folder, if I give the D, so if you see that Raju one folder is already exited or it is created from the add user command. So the other end, while we are going to check with that only Raj folder, if I hit that, it will show for that it will not created. Basically, the difference is that useradd command is the low level command. It is only it will create for the user which is we are going to provide that, and the other end is the odd user. It will go to give that um, home directory which cell they need, that password they need, that everything we it will go to ask for that. It's a high level command. It will make sure that all are necessary config and folder it is going to create related to that user side. So in case if you have the doubt that even we don't have the any option to useradd command will create make it sure for the all the things is happening. Yes, we have that syntax for that. If your example, if you see that our document, if the syntax is the useradd command, you need to give the other parameter or syntax. We need to give for that options. You need to use for that options. Like -m is will make it sure about that home folder we need to create with the default home folder path, like /home. Okay, and -s will make sure about that which cell that user we need to create it. So this kind of things we need to extra we need to pass from that value while using for the user add command. But that other end for the add user is the high level user friendly command, so it will be take care everything for us. Okay, this is the major difference from the two command. Okay, let's move on to the before start that next command. I will go to clear my screen and I will show you that other password file how it is look like. If you see that /etc and shadow, yeah. So if you see that while we are creating that Raj and Raj user with the command of the user add, and it will show for the password column it is only for the exclamatory symbol. That means that user doesn't have that any password. If anyone is trying to log in with that users, it will throw that access deny error. And other end, if you see the Raj1 folder, it will give for the some random alphabet letters here. It will show make it show that the password is contained for that particular user with the encrypted mode. Okay, yeah, this is the two major files on here while you are discussing about that while creating that new user in the Linux. So that is the very important files you need to take care for that. Okay, and move on to the next command to delete that users. For example, if you want to, we created the some two test users. If I need to delete for that, you can give that user del command and follow that you need to give for that particular users. So this will make sure about that user is going to delete it. Okay, after that you can cross verify from that in the password file. We'll go to reconfirm that yes, it is removed from our local server, and move on to that next. If you want to see that what are the group is available on the server, you can go to simply run that cat and etc and sorry, group file. It will go to it will show for the which are the group is available and here, and it will show for that. So then if you want to add a particular user into that particular group, then we can go to use that command is user mode -a and g, and follow that we can go give for that username. For example, if I'm going to add the test user into the group is called randomly, I'm checking one random ones. If I hit that, and okay, sorry, my bad. We need to give that group is first, which is group we need to add that group name we need to give that, followed by we need to give for that which user we need to add from here. So this is that main things we need to give for that. So if again if you see that group configuration file, see if you see that before that CH team 5 doesn't have that test user group, doesn't have the test user. Now the test user is belong to CS team 5 also, right? So similar we have that another all the command we can use it for the advanced level, but today That's it from our focus. Thanks for watching video. We'll wait for that coming one by one video. It will be very interesting. Thank you for your support.